Ron DeSantis has a difficult time controlling his face. If you don't believe me, here's the latest example. So
how much is that worth? Way more you're talking about that.
You got to get that under control.
Yeah.
You just got to get that under control.
He does not have it.
So this is the image that's been circulating the socials, as the kids call it.
Oy.
And I got to be honest, it reminds me a lot of a different screenshot featuring Ron DeSantis's face that also got a lot of attention recently, and that was his reaction to a question when he was in Japan regarding Donald Trump's attacks and insults toward him. And apparently this has become so much of an issue, meaning his inability to control his face, that people around him in an effort to prepare him for a presidential run are trying to train him to not be so weird.
In other words, his consultants are telling him, fix your face.
Yeah, he's got to do face yoga, get a little bit more control. Like what's, that's the face yoga thing? Anyway, keep going.
I didn't even know that was
hold
a
on,
thing.
there's face yoga?
Yeah, it's supposed to tighten your face.
Oh, no, I gotta know what that is. Gotta keep it tight, keep it right.
Yeah.
All right, okay. You know, I mean.
They did it on Real Housewives, that's how I know about it, okay?
Nice. Okay,
Right.
so just
Or
to
as DeSantis would say,
just chill out, right? Okay, so just to show you the receipts, I'm not making this up. We had actually shared these details with you in a previous story a few weeks ago, but apparently sources tell ABC News that during DeSantis's primary debate prep in recent weeks, his team has been paying close attention to how to help manage the governor's facial reactions.
right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. And then in that leaked 2018 tape when he was preparing for a debate, his advisors said, when you get to the lectern in the debate, write likable in big letters on your paper because you have to remember to try to be likable.
Yeah.
When they have to give you that note, that means you ain't likable.
No, he's not likable, nor is he charismatic. This is what I've been saying for months. I mean, we're gonna take a small victory lap. We'll see. I mean, who knows if he makes it out of the primary, but or if he even runs, he's doing primary prep. Announce, dude. He's letting Trump just pummel him over and over and over again, and just he's sitting back and taking it. You know what Republican primary voters really don't like? When you look like a weakling.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what Trump was so good at about like big dogging them in 2016. They want the big, strong guy. And so when DeSantis is like, I don't know if I'm gonna run. I mean, he looks pathetic.
No, the people who want civility are a little bit media, but mainly
Democrats?
That's also true.
Yeah.
But mainly, all of that is driven by the donors. The donors want civility because they want the status quo. They don't want anything that upsets the status quo. So if you sound like you're being super aggressive, it makes them viscerally uncomfortable. And they go, whoa, right? So that neuters all of the other politicians outside of Trump. So Trump doesn't care about the donors because Trump gets the donor money anyway, and he's uncontrollable, right?
No, he robs his supporters, small
all
dollar
the time,
donors.
and he's got the small dollar donors now. So Trump can say whatever he wants, but the DeSantis of the world have been trained not to fight back and to be civil. Now that applies 10,000 times more to the Democrats, but that's why Marco Rubio and Jeb Bush and all those guys had no idea how to fight back against Donald Trump.
They were playing by the old rules, right?
And the old rules, exactly right.
They couldn't adapt to the situation that they were dealing with in the moment, which was an unruly guy who refused to play by any rules, didn't believe in civility. And to be honest, I mean, fact of the matter is, as much as I dislike Trump and what he stands for, he is charismatic and he knows how to entertain a crowd. Marco Rubio couldn't do that if his life depended on it.
100%. But what the media sees is the old rules are the correct rules. And so if you're Jeb Bush and you suck at being a politician, I mean, it's so hard to remember this, but when that race started back in 2015, they all said it was gonna be Jeb.
Yep.
And then they all switched to, it's gonna be Marco Rubio. All of them, right?
Little Marco.
And
Scott Walker was
and
another, right.
And they just can't see it. They can't, the establishment can't see itself in the mirror. And they can't see that it's not working and that people don't like it. And the reason why DeSantis is having these outsized facial reactions is because he's nervous.
Yes,
So
exactly.
when they,
Tight.
right,
Yeah.
when they asked him about Trump, that's why he did that. I love that head bob. Like he did that thing, right? When he was in Japan. And then now I don't know what this interaction with the voter was. So to be fair, I don't know if he was nervous or just a weird tick or whatever. But that like what? Come on, what is that? What?
He looks like a
Look at the guy
frat
behind
boy
him.
villain in an Adam Sandler movie or something like that. Like his reaction's way too cartoonish. But like, okay, all right. So
It also comes off as like super fake.
Super,
Like,
yeah, totally.
super fake.
Yep.
Why was he in Japan? Do we know? Like, why was he abroad? He was doing this whole. He was abroad.
I
for
know
a
why he's
while.
abroad. Okay, so this is my guess, but I've been following politics for 25 years. When you're a governor, you go abroad to establish your foreign policy bona
Give me a
fides.
break. Well,
It's so old school. No one cares.
Also, like what? I mean, I haven't seen anything in the form of foreign policy from Ron DeSantis ever.
no one cares. The Republican voters don't care about foreign policy.
Yeah.
Like Nikki Haley was saying that in her announcement. I have been in the tough rooms at the United Nations. The conservatives were like, screw the United Nations. I don't care about
The MAGA
that.
voters are gonna salivate over
Oh
that.
yeah, they really loved her
Can't get
deft
enough.
touch on like Egypt or whatever the hell happened there. But I mean, I said this I think to you last night. Ron DeSantis, when Trump was going to East Palestine and handing out McDonald's, Ron DeSantis was meeting at police unions doing Club for Growth fundraisers. That's why this dude doesn't have it, because even though the establishment is trying to will him into existence as Trump without the baggage, because he'll do all the culture war stuff he thinks that they think the base wants, but he'll play ball. You can't will that into an existence. And even the New York Times like think pieces about him as well, and trying to honestly frame him in a more positive light. Some of the mainstream media outlets. You can't force it, and we saw that in 2016.
I
can't.
totally agree with you. We did give Ron DeSantis a little bit of credit for a pretty strategic move he made in Iowa recently. So Trump was scheduled to do a rally in Iowa over this past weekend. There was some sort of tornado warning, so he decided to cancel it and reschedule for a later date. Ron DeSantis decided to go to Iowa, and he ended up meeting Republican voters. You know how they do the campaigning where they go to diners and stuff, and they like meet with the voters. So Ron DeSantis is like, I jump in it. So he did exactly that. And then he also took a little jab at Trump by talking about how Republicans really gotta move on from this loser mentality.
Right, but did he say Trump by name?
He did not say Trump by name.
Loser. That's
Yeah.
a loser
Yeah,
mentality.
I mean-
that's a loser
That's
mentality.
a great point.
Okay, that's a
so
good
I
point,
agreed with
yeah.
Anna yesterday, and I like that line of thinking. Culture of losing is a good phrase, and I like that he went there, and it was like the first sign of life for DeSantis. But Emma makes a devastating point. If you don't name Trump there, you're the culture of losing, right? Because that you're not even strong enough to be able to attack your opponent. In a Republican primary, you're gonna get steamrolled, man. You're gonna get that silly face ripped off you
I can't
politically.
wait to see the facial expressions during the debates.
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait. It's
And-
gonna be so fun to watch.
And now he's gonna have it in his head to not make the facial expressions. It's gonna make him doubly nervous.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Right? All right, last thing for me. Look, guys, I prefer DeSantis in a primary versus Trump, because I think Trump would definitely end our democracy, and I don't want to risk that under any circumstances. Having said that our job is to be honest with you guys and give you an assessment and analysis of who's winning, who's losing, etc. And when I look at this political analysis, the media, it definitely favors DeSantis. It's not even close, right-wing media and mainstream media. They call Trump a liar and pathetic 1,000 times over. Good, he is, I agree. DeSantis, I could say the same thing about in at least 800 out of the 1,000 cases, right? But they never do that for DeSantis, never. So they'll be like, the only time they criticize him is like, oh, he was mean to a corporation, Disney. Everybody attacked, oh, he can't do that.
That's so true. I mean,
Only criticism.
scathing reporting.
Exactly,
on
because you
that.
cannot touch the beloved corporations.
Absolutely.
Okay, so they favored DeSantis overall, but like we just talked about, they favored Jeb Bush, they favored Marco Rubio, they favored Hillary Clinton. None of that helped. At the end, especially in a Republican primary, in order to win, you must be vicious. If you're not vicious, you have no chance at all. And look, to me, and I'll go one step further, putting aside like the way that they're vicious with the racism, sexism, blah, 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 all that stuff. But politically, Trump is not wrong. Strategically, you should be vicious. You're supposed to tear down your opponents and raise yourself up so that you look like the obvious choice. But media hates that because they prefer civility. Donors hate that because they prefer civility. And the Democratic Party triply, quadruply hates that because they prefer civility and losing, right? So we have no one to fight back against Trump because the rest of the establishment is trained to never fight back. So that's why Trump won in 2016, he nearly won in 2020, and he's up 7 points against Biden and the most likely to win at this point. So if someone doesn't figure out you're supposed to fight the guy, he'll win again, and that's a disaster for the country.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.